So yesterday we went over lines. We learned about the geometric terms and their definitions. We went over points, lines, parallel lines, intersecting lines, and perpendicular lines. But today we are going to dig deeper and we are going to refer to these terms and definitions to do our assignments today. So let's review what we learned from yesterday. A point. A point is an exact location in space. This is point X, as shown right here. We have point X right here. Now, line. A line is the straight path of points that goes on and on in both directions. This is line AB, as you can see, and it has the points labeled A and B. Okay, I am going to circle this to show you that this is line, and we would call this line AB. Next, we have parallel lines. Parallel lines never intersect. Again, they never intersect, they never touch. They can go vertical, which means they can go up and down. They can go diagonal, which is already shown over in the picture right here. And they can go horizontal, which means that they can go across. But again, they never touch, and they're the same length. They have the same measurement. Next, we have intersecting lines. Intersecting lines pass through the same point. So we know that intersecting lines share that common point, as you can see right here. And I can label this point A. And then we have perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines form right angles. How do I know it forms that right angle? Because I can draw that box. That box within it. Those perpendicular lines forms those right angles, and I can draw that box to tell me that, oh, those are right angles. So that means that is a perpendicular line. Now let's move on. So let's look at here. So I have numerous lines within here. They have they have line A, ACE, or you would call it line AE because it goes from this point to this point. So I would call this line AE right here. I am going to show you by highlighting it. This is line AE. That's my first line. I also have another line right here. It's called line GD because it goes from point G to point D right here. And then I have my third line, GF, because it goes from point G to point F. Okay? So now let's look at some attributes within this figure. I see that there is perpendicular lines. How do I know? Because I can see that I can draw a box right here. Let me show you. I can draw that box within right here. So what two lines? If I have a question that asks me what two lines form perpendicular lines, I can say GF, line GF, and line AE for perpendicular lines. What about parallel lines? I don't see any parallel lines in this figure. But however, if there were any parallel lines, I'm going to draw an example for you so you can see what parallel lines look like. I could draw a line right here. I'm going to draw a line right here. And I'm going to label this point H. And I'm going to label this other point, and then it has this point F and H, okay? So if the question come across, asks you, what two lines form parallel lines? I could say line AE and line HF, okay? So that's all we have for you today. We have went over lines, perpendicular lines, and parallel lines. So I hope this video helps you. You can always come back to this video to help you with your assignment.